Well, I don't know if I'm remembering the movie correctly, but I think Elle Woods showed her boobs in her personal statement.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair toss, check my nails.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Shayla J. That is Shayla with the C. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get a notification every time I post a video. And this is part 2 of my series. Oh, so you want to go to law school? This part 2 is on your application, which is by far the most important part of getting into law school because you got to do one to go. And so it has 5 required parts: your GPA, your LSAT score, your resume, your letters of recommendation, and your personal statement. We're going to talk about all 5 of those parts in this video. GPA is pretty self-explanatory. You need your transcript to go to law school. They want to see what you're doing in your undergrad. If you went to multiple undergrads, took courses over the summer, things like that, they will need a transcript from all of the schools that you went to. The next thing is your LSAT score. I don't know how many of you have seen Legally Blonde. I think I mentioned it in my last video, which also talked about LSAT, which I will link down below. But Elle Woods made a 179 on her LSAT. The LSAT scores range with the lowest being a 120 and the highest being a 180. So 179 is amazing. And I'm not saying you can't do it, because you totally can. But if you don't make a 179 and you make anywhere else lower, anything else lower than a 179, that's okay. And I don't want to hear you, oh, Shayla, my score falls outside the 25th percentile of the school I want to go to. I don't want to hear that. My grandmother used to say, you have not because you ask not. So if you don't apply, how can they even accept you? If you don't apply because you chickened out because you're below the 25th percentile, how can I even tell you yes or no? So I think you definitely should apply to that dream school, because the worst they could say is no. And if they say no, somebody's bound to say yes. A no now is not a dream canceled. It's just a dream deferred. So that's all I have on LSAT. You can check out the video link down below, part 1, and learn more about the LSAT. Your resume, your standard resume. Put things on your resume that boost your application, that shows that you're prepared for law school. I'm not sure how much they look at your resume, but make it look good. Don't just BS your resume, because it's important. GPA along with LSAT. You're more than a GPA. Things happen. It's okay. So the next thing on my list that I'm going to talk about is letters of recommendation. Do not, I repeat, I don't know why people do this. Do not ask that shady teacher that kind of likes you this day and kind of don't like you the next day. Do not ask that teacher to write you a letter of recommendation, because she might kind of not like you that day. He might kind of not really like you that day and write you a horrible letter of recommendation. Do not do that. Get a letter of recommendation from someone who you know likes you, who you know thinks you're a good person, who you know has good things to say about your character, so you don't have to put in guesswork to wonder if they'll write a good letter of recommendation about you. So most schools ask for like maybe 1 or 2 letters of recommendation, but you can upload as many as you want into the little service that they use, and you can select which schools you want to send your letter of recommendation to. So it's a good idea, like if you know someone that's an alumni of that school and they can speak on your professionalism or your character or your academics, get them to write your letter of recommendation, because they're already alumni and have connects with that institution. So I think that would be a good idea. So the next and last required thing is personal statement. Personal statement is so important. It tells us your story on paper. So they can't have you there to interview them. Some schools do provide interviews, but some schools do not. And so your personal statement has to stand in your place. Elle Woods, she did a video personal statement, and she put her boobs in the video, but it really told the council who she was. She was a sorority girl that likes bikinis and pink and swimming, and you could clearly see that from her video personal statement. It was no questioning who you were getting once you looked at her video personal statement.
Hi, my name is Elle Woods, and for my admissions essay, I'm going to tell all of you at Harvard why I'm going to make an amazing lawyer. As
And
president,
so for your personal statement, you need to catch the attention, like those guys watching Elle Woods' video. Catch the reader's attention. And do it quick. You only get approximately 2 pages. For most people, you get 2 pages. You need to do it. You need to catch their attention pretty quickly. And you just need to tell a story. So for mine, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer. And don't say that. Don't say, I wanted to be a lawyer since I was a little bitty baby. Don't do that. Because they hear so many of those stories. Unless there's a twist to it. If there's a twist to it, you can do it. But I'm pretty sure they hear way too many stories, more than they would like to count, about people who wanted to be lawyers since they were 2. But I was actually one of those people. Since I was really young, not 2, but like maybe 7, I watched way too much Law & Order SVU. Shout out to Law & Order SVU. The others have nothing on Law & Order SVU. But I watched way too many Law & Order SVU. And I thought being an assistant district attorney or a district attorney was the best thing ever. I thought it was so cool and I wanted to be a lawyer. But then one of the assistant district attorneys, she got shot down. And after that point, I was like, it's a no-go for me. I'm not going to be no lawyer. I need a safe job. I don't like the idea of being shot at. Public interest people don't make no money anyway, so I'm not going to make no money. And I got to get shot at. It's a no. It's a done deal. It's dead. So then I was like, I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. I want to be a doctor. I literally wrote about that in my personal statement. So tell a story. Tell a story about who you are and why you deserve to be at that law school. So that is my suggestions on personal statement. Another suggestion is don't let 30 billion gazillion people read and give critiques and suggestions on your personal statement because it will stress you out. I did that. I had way too many people reading my personal statement, way too many suggestions, and it was too much going on. Like I didn't know how to compress all of it to a point where I could actually read it and understand all of the different suggestions I was getting. Because some person's going to say this way is better. The other person's going to say that way is better. So to avoid all of that, give it to 2 people. Give it to your law school admissions. No, give it to the person that's helping you, your pre-law counselor at your school, and give it to an English person for them to review it for like commas and punctuation and sentence structure and things like that. Other than that, you can give it to people, but don't take suggestions because the suggestions will literally stress you out. I started writing my personal statement in September and then finished it till November because of how many different people I gave it to. It was insane and I was stressed. Don't do that to yourself. Take it from me. Don't do it. And of course, all of this is just recommendations from my personal experience. I am by far not an expert on law school admissions. I'm just telling you things that I did and hopefully it'll help you along the way. So those are all the things that are required for your application. But the last thing is the diversity statement. It is not required, but I highly recommend doing one. So your diversity statement can be pretty much anything. If you feel like you want to add more to your application, there's something that you didn't talk about in your personal statement that you feel would be beneficial to your application, talk about it in your diversity statement. If you come from a religious minority group, an ethnic minority group, a racial minority group, if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, if you're a first generation immigrant, a first generation law student, first generation college grad, all of that is fair game to talk about. If you have some kind of health situation that makes you diverse, I think that is a great thing to talk about. All of those are stellar things to discuss in your diversity statement. Try to keep it a page to max. And I think that'll be a great way to add more to your application if there's more you want to say. So those are all of my recommendations. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments below, and I will definitely respond to all of them. I will. And that's all for this video. Part 3 is coming out next week, so stay tuned. Bye, loves. Have a great week.